Good evening, YouTube. Whiskey River Piper. Welcome back to the front porch. And happy Whiskey River Wednesday. Smoking some Cornell and Diehl John Marr out of the Moonshine Deviled Egg, which so far has been my Virginia pipe. I will have to put it down here pretty soon, and my Petersons are starting to get jealous. But it's just so different from my bent billiards, and it feels really good in my hand, so I may have to get more. Now this is, I think, my fourth take. After the second take, my camera died, which is why this is getting to you so late, and I had to charge the camera. And I started out with a lot of Sugar House bourbon, but it's the easiest drinking whiskey I have, and it has been easy to drink tonight. But it is delicious. Ooh. So good. Tonight I thought I'd talk about national parks, seeing as how it's National Park Week. I spent a lot of time in national parks. I grew up 45 minutes outside of Sequoia National Park, Central California, which Kings Canyon is right next to it, so we went there all the time. Yosemite was right up the road. In an attempt to save my virtue, my mother took the family to Death Valley National Park spring break my senior year, because my girlfriend at the time we both had tried to make clandestine plans to meet up on the coast, and my mom saw right through that, as moms often do. But when my parents retired to Montana, they actually found a spot about an hour and a half outside of Glacier National Park. So that has become our de facto tourist spot. And being here in Utah, there are 5 national parks and I don't even know how many national monuments. There's the Golden Spike National Historical Site up in northern Utah, Promontory Point, the Transcontinental Railroad, which is, I think, celebrating their some kind of anniversary this year. There's Timpanogos Cave National Monument, where I go rock climbing and backpacking up at American Fork Canyon, close. Cedar Breaks, Grand Staircase, Natural Bridges, Dinosaur. There's all kinds here in Utah. And my wife and I actually went on our honeymoon to Zion National Park. Stayed in a little cabin outside the east entrance. Drove into the park every day. It was very, very, very cool. And with any luck, I'll be able to get down to Grand Canyon this year, because it's the centennial celebration. 100 years of Grand Canyon. Well, Grand Canyon National Park. Grand Canyon has been there much longer than 100 years. But I just love being in special places like that. My pipe's out. I think I'm at the end. I'll give her another go. Largest living organisms on the planet. Sequoia National Park, the giant sequoia tree. Just to be around them in those giant groves, it's magical. And I mean that in every sense of the word. There's a feeling of presence there. Being around such ancient creatures, ancient organisms, it's pretty cool. Very cool. Zion is kind of the same way. You have these giant, towering walls. Most places like that, you on the edge, like at Grand Canyon, you look down into the canyon. But in Zion, you come in and then you look up, and you have this giant cathedral, sandstone and limestone, and it's gorgeous. And the Virgin River just cuts through. It's beautiful. It's good to be out in nature, and climb the mountains and walk in the woods and find yourself again. I don't think we do enough of that today. I think a lot of ills could be solved with a bedroll and a pup tip. But what do I know? Anyway, hopefully I can add to my little collection that I've got here. In 2004, my dad got me this hiking stick. My first hiking medallion. The General Grant tree in Kings Canyon. And we got Glacier National Park, and then one from British Columbia. This is that spring break Death Valley trip. Going to the Sun Road in Glacier. And Glacier's Centennial. America. Stereotypical American, I guess. This is the Chilkoot Trail in Skagway, Alaska. Banff National Park. Beautiful. My dad says we should just go up and take it from Canada. And that's why he's not a senator. Yellowstone is gorgeous. This is the Honeymoon in Zion. And then these next 5, Glacier, Sequoia, Bryce Canyon, Kings Canyon, and then Death Valley again. My wife and I did in 1 year. I think it's 2014. We did all 5. We just drove through Death Valley on the way back, but it counts. And then we went back to Zion and did the Angel's Landing hike, which, look it up, it's terrifying. I'll never do it again. We did that for Valentine's Day, because nothing's more romantic than almost dying, falling 2,000 feet to your death. And then here's my scout ones. So, with the Eagle, I am an Eagle Scout. I can still recite the Scout Law, so I guess that's one of the only things I can remember for the Scouts. And then this is a commemorative emblem from the Civilian Conservation Corps, and they did, it was an FDR era New Deal program, and they built much of the infrastructure in the national parks, so I thought it was fitting that it belonged on here. And this is retired. I have a new one. It's actually a small tamarack tree that my dad cut down at his place in Montana that I stole. It's my hiking stick now, and it's got a couple on there. think it's got another Kings Canyon and a glacier medallion there. We actually took my son when he was 3 months old on the family camping trip. The last one to Kings Canyon. We used to go before my parents retired, and we all lived in California still. We would go every Memorial Day and Labor Day. Those weekends in camp at Princess Campground. And just outside Kings Canyon. So he got to go. And that was his first national park visit. And it was the same place that my first one was. So that was pretty cool. The year before that, my daughter, we went to Glacier and we took her to the top of the Continental Divide on the Going to the Sun Road. And she screamed the entire way. Oh, an hour's drive of just, oh, it was miserable. It was so bad. We got out of the car and my mom saw us and she was just like, oh no. Yeah, it was bad. But it's fun to think back on now. Anyway, it's getting late. I'm officially out of bourbon and the pipe is running low. In the spirit of National Park Week, I have a different poem, not from Pipe and Pouch, but one I hope everyone will enjoy just the same. It's called Let This Be Heaven by H.R. Merril. And it reads, O God, let this be heaven. I do not ask for golden streets or long for jasper walls, nor do I sigh for pearly shores where twilight never falls. Just leave me here beside these peaks in this rough western land. I love this dear old world of thine, dear God, you understand. O God, let this be heaven. I do not crave white stainless robes. I'll keep these marked by toil. Instead of straight and narrow walks, I love trails soft with soil. I have been healed by crystal streams, but these from snow-crowned peaks, where dawn burns incense to the day and paints the sky in streaks. Dear God, let this be heaven. I do not ask for angels' wings, just leave that old pack there. And let me climb till comes the night, I want no golden stair. Then, when I say my last adieu, just leave my spirit here somewhere. Oh God, let this be heaven. And that pretty much sums up how I feel about certain places that I've been to. Crystal Meadow, Sequoia National Park's that way. St. Mary Lake and Glacier is that way. Feeling the mist from the Yosemite Falls is that way. And on a Honda Trail 90 in Yellowstone National Park with my dad. That way. Well, hope everyone has a good week. Hope you're able to get out and enjoy some nature, even if it's just in your own garden or your local park. And as always, let those smoke now who never smoked before, and those who always smoked now smoke the more. Thanks for stopping by the Front Porch YouTube. We'll catch you next time.